Okay, what's going on, everyone? Swinging Bull here with PB Alerts, and welcome to the earnings stream. And today we're going to be going over CSX earnings. And CSX, everyone should know who they are. That's the railroad company. And then, of course, we got AA also reporting earnings, and they're in metals and mining. So we'll see what the reaction to the earnings data is. We'll get the EPS, get the revenue, maybe any forward guidance that could be important, and then we'll go from there. First and foremost, I did want to let's take a quick peek at the heat map. Obviously, Powell had his speech today and basically said that the Trump tariff war is basically hurting the Fed's goal with inflation, and basically said there's probably not going to be any rate cuts this year. So anyways, the market sold off, and heat maps bright red. Energy sector was actually pretty green. It's kind of holding up a little bit. I suppose the sector's still green, but everything else bright red. So that's what we were dealing with today. Just real quick, CSX is supposed to report right at 4 p.m. Eastern, according to earnings whispers. So just looking at the chart right now, it doesn't look like it's moving right now. So we're just going to have to wait. Maybe it's delayed a few minutes, or earnings whispers time is wrong and they report at 4:05 p.m. Eastern. But real quick, let me just move this to the side real quick. Okay, there we go. So anyways, also wanted to remind everyone about our second annual Traders Paradise in-person event. This year is going to be in Chicago. This is the 2025 event, June 9th through the 12th. And looking forward to meeting everyone that's going to be attending. And I'll talk a little bit more about that at the end of the stream. But let me just go back to the sticks real quick. This is the SPY and triple Qs actually started running a little bit going into close. So I'm looking at the 5-minute charts right now. So they bounced off today's low, but brutal day in the market. Obviously, if you were a bear, you probably performed well. I actually scalped some SPY put contracts earlier today. Made like $20 profit per contract. So I was happy with the quick money, and took my money and ran. So here we are, SPY and triple Qs kind of running into close a little bit. Nice to see for the bulls. But let's flip back over to CSX and AA. Looks like we are getting a reaction on CSX. It was initial negative reaction. Also in the Discord, if y'all aren't able to see my screen for whatever reason, I will post the YouTube link for everyone, so you can just jump on over there if you can't see it here. But initial reaction on CSX wicked down to about 25.80 or so, and now it's bouncing a little bit. It's 5-minute, or this is a 15-minute candle. I apologize. But you've got a wick on the bottom here, so we'll see if the buyers end up scooping up this dip on CSX or not. AA, which is the metals and mining company, they're getting a positive reaction. We go to the 5-minute here, and let's see. Okay, so AA, Alcoa Corporation, closed the regular session at $25.10, up 1.7% on the day, while everything else was selling off. Sitting here in after hours at $25.51, up 1.6% in after hours. So AA is getting a positive reaction. CSX is getting a negative reaction. Let me see if I got some data on CSX. I can post that for everyone on YouTube as far as EPS revenue, and like I say, maybe some guidance. So let's take a look here. Got some data here from Alpha Sense. Appreciate the post. And looks like revenue totaled $3.42 billion, and operating income of $1.04 billion. Now, compared to $1.3 billion in the prior year period, so that was down. Net income $646 million. And that's compared to $880 million same period last year. So no growth on net income. It actually was less this year than last year. So couple of statements from the CEO. CSX faced operational challenges to start the year, which contributed to first quarter results that did not meet our expectations. And that was said by Joe Hendricks, is the president and CEO. In response, our talented and dedicated team of real roaders are working together to lift our performance and drive success through an uncertain market outlook. We are taking targeted actions to address the network constraints posed by two major ongoing infrastructure projects, and we remain committed to safely and reliably serving our customers. But not good data released, especially the net income part. Came in at 646 million, 880 million to the same period last year. Same thing with EPS, 0.34 was the EPS. Same time last year was 0.45. So, they negative increases year over year on the EPS and revenue. So that's why we're getting a negative reaction here. Let's see if I can. Let's jump over to AA real quick because this one's getting a positive reaction. Let's see if I got some info on this one. And let's take a look. Okay, let's see here. Oh, some people kind of going nuts on Twitter right now. Okay, let's just go over the forecast for AA real quick. So let me jump over here. They're supposed to report at 4:15 p.m. Eastern, so I don't think the data's out yet. Got another 9 minutes on that. The forecast EPS at $1.73 and the forecast revenue 3.57 billion, and that's for AA, ticker symbol AA. So we got a few minutes to kill before we get that data. Just want to jump back over to CSX just real quick. They're coming off two back-to-back negative reactions for looking at the previous four earnings. They were down almost 3% back in January for that earnings, and then last October they were down 6%. And looks like they got another negative reaction on this one. So we'll see if there's going to be any dip buyers. I do see a buy-side imbalance on the order book now, so we'll see if this ends up turning around. Let me go back to my other page and see if I got some more info. Coming into the earnings, CSX had a forecast PE of 15.59, EPS 1.78, and they do pay a small dividend, 1.9%. So that's pretty good there. As far as them paying a dividend, not so much the reaction they're getting to this earnings right now. Net income was pretty consistent. It kind of fell off a little bit in Q4, but nonetheless, they are a profitable company. It's just what's a little concerning is their year-over-year numbers haven't been too good. Looking at the past 5 earnings, so kind of hurting them a bit. Not really showing much growth there. Debt to assets at 70%. That's not too bad. So let me see here. I'm on the 5 minutes. Buyers are trying to scoop this up off the low it just made around 25.82. Draw a Fibonacci on this. Just want to get a look at where some of these levels are at. So yeah, it's trying to retrace back up to baseline. So not all bad for the bulls. Of course, the initial reaction was negative, but it's trying to make higher lows. Now this is a 1 minute chart, so don't put too much weight on it, but it's looking like it's trying to make higher lows and maybe come back up here to before the selling started. So keep your eyes on it and just look to see that it's making higher lows. And I think this probably has a good chance at retracing back up possibly. AA, back to AA just for a second. They initially had a positive. Well, this is the thing, that the data is not out yet, so this is kind of like pre-earnings price action. So we're just going to have to wait until 4:15 p.m. Eastern to get their data and get the actual reaction. But so far so good with CSX trying to retrace back. It's kind of slow moving, but nonetheless, there are buyers present in the picture. Let me see here. Okay, so EPS came in 0.34, they missed. Revenue came in 3.4 billion, and they missed. And just some highlights about CSX. Matter of fact, I can probably post this on YouTube for everybody. This is from earnings time. Okay, AA is getting another pop here. Again, earnings whispers say they're not supposed to release data until 4:15, so that's in 5 minutes, but it's already kind of getting a little action here. Let me just post this on YouTube for everyone. So just some highlights about CSX earnings. So Q1 2025 results, they're down. Well, they were down at the time this was posted, but EPS 0.34, revenue 0.342. Both, they missed on both lines. Revenue declined amid lower coal and merchandise volumes. It's an operational challenge, if you will. Operational challenges impacted performance, basically. So that's the deal with CSX. The data's not good, but after making the initial negative move, it's kind of clawed back a little bit. Now it's just hanging out around 26, 27 bucks. So, you know, not much change overall. Just down 2% in after hours now. It was down about 2% on the day going into after hours. AA is getting a lot of flickering candle action. I don't know if y'all just saw those candles that were flickering, but kind of looking like a crazy looking doji right now. But got about another 4 minutes. Let me just pull up this graphic for CSX. Got some pretty good info on here. So revenue, you know, and again, it's the year over year numbers that's, I think, it's hurting them. Revenue came in 3.4 billion. That's down 7% over year over year. Net income, this was the big hit, I think, in my opinion, because the same period last year they brought in like 880 million, and now they're only reporting 646 million. That's down 28% year over year. Another, you know, negative thing. EPS, we talked about that, 0.34. Same time last year, I think it was around in 0.4 territory. But anyways, it's down 26% year over year on EPS, and total volume 1.5 million. That's down 1% year over year. So not good. They missed, you know, expected EPS 0.38. So they missed the forecast by 11%. The expected revenue was 3.48 billion, and they missed that by 2%. So not good data, in my opinion, for CSX. However, you know, the price is back up here around $27 after coming down to 25 and some change. So, you know, just keep your eye on it. But even though the data was bad, it doesn't seem like it was horrible. I mean, you know, they still pulled a positive net income. They're still a profitable company, you know, so things like that. Let me get this office phone real quick. Sorry about that. Put them on mute until after the stream. So, you know, the data was bad, but overall, they're still, you know, the company is still making a profit, right? So not all bad. It's just they didn't meet forecasts, and their year over year numbers are not too good. So hang in there. CSX, I don't think is going anywhere. They'll be just fine. Maybe could be looked at as maybe getting some at a discount, but again, markets are forward looking, and they're not showing any growth. Their year over year numbers aren't too good, so just something to keep in mind, you know. Let's go to AA real quick. Alcoa Corporation. I'm on the 5 minute chart. Should have the earnings any minute now on that one. So let me just flip over. Okay, let's take a look. We got about 30 seconds left until it's officially 4:15 p.m. And then we should get the AA data. It's got, you know, it's printing a green candle right now. So is it out already? Let me take a look. Okay, it is out already. All right. One of the highlights for AA, they beat EPS forecast by 52%. So that's pretty good. Let's take a look at this graphic here with some good data. And so the the forecast EPS was only $1.41. They just reported 2.15. So they smashed EPS by 52%. Maybe that's why we're getting this positive initial reaction. We'll see if it ends up being the real move or not. It's actually a red candle just kind of formed there. Let's go back to the chart here. So the revenue forecast was 3.5 billion, came in at 3.36 billion. So they missed revenue expectations by 4%. But a couple key things, year over year numbers, again, EPS up 365% year over year. That's pretty incredible growth with the EPS. Even though they missed the revenue forecast for this particular earnings cycle, the revenue is still up 30% year over year. So yeah, they missed forecasts, but year over year there's growth. Investors want to see growth. The EPS is up 107% quarter over quarter. Zoom in a little bit to the quarter over quarter, and the revenue was down 3%, but still 30% year over year revenue increase. I think that's holds a little bit more weight than the quarter over quarter numbers. So that's the results for AA. Looks like we had an initial positive reaction. Now it's kind of retracing back a little bit. Let me look at Webull just for a second here. Okay, look at CSX. Still, they made an attempt at retracing, which they did. They got back over the golden fib, which was around 26.77, and now they're kind of hanging out right above this 61% retrace. So that's kind of good to see. We'll see if it can hold up there, and then obviously would like for the bulls would like this to break 27 and then go back up to where it was before the selling started, which would be 27 and some change. So it's holding up. Okay, like I said, CSX is still a good company. They're just having some issues with their year over year numbers like we were talking about, but they still pay a dividend. They didn't remove the dividend or anything crazy like that. They just, having a little trouble with the year over year growth, but nonetheless, still a very much profitable company. And they're making a solid attempt at retracing this selling. So that's good to see for the bulls. Back over to AA. I'm going to put a fib here, probably right at this candle here. Just kind of take a look at it. Let me go zoom in a little closer. All right, so they hold on one sec. My phone's about to ring again. Let's just mute that. So anyways, AA, they smashed EPS by 52%, the expectation. So great job there. Missed revenue just by a little bit. Great year over year numbers. So the share price did rally up to 26.35 just a little bit ago after dipping down. But when it dipped down here, that was before the earnings were actually released. So not sure what those two candles were all about. But now it's sitting up here. Closed the regular session at 25.07, up about 1.5% on the day. Now they're sitting here in after hours, up about 73 cents a share, 2.91%. So looks like it's probably going to be a positive reaction, even though it's not really a big reaction. Just wanted to see how AA performed. Let me go over here and see if I can pull this up here. See if tip breaks give me another one. AA. Okay, let me take a look here and see if tip breaks lets me through the paywall. Okay, looks like we're good. So yeah, AA is coming off back to back negative reactions. I mean, back in January they were trading almost at $39. The next day they were trading around 37, so they were down about 3 to 4% the next day. Then back in October, they had a negative reaction, not a bad one. I mean, they were about trading just below 42, and then they were at 40 the next day. So kind of flat, to be honest with you. So not really a big mover for earnings, even though they were negative reactions. They weren't big negative reactions. So to be honest with you, I wish I would have saw this before. I would have probably done an iron condor on this maybe, but not really a big mover. The price is usually flat the next day. Just something to keep in mind maybe for their next earnings. Sector information. Just want to take another peek at this and see how it ended the day. Yeah, just what I thought. The only sector that ended up green today was energy, up 0.8% on the day. All the other sectors were red. Tech, consumer discretionary at the bottom of the pack. Obviously a risk off type of day. So, that's kind of what happened today. And of course, kind of Powell was kind of the catalyst there, I think. And okay, what are they trying to have? I got to put this puzzle piece in place. Got all these security checks. I solved the puzzle in 2.4 seconds. You see that? All right. So of course, Powell was talking at 1:30 p.m. Eastern. So that's kind of what kind of sparked the bulk of the selling, I think. Tomorrow morning, jobless claims. Okay, very important. Initial jobless claims. That's before the bell tomorrow morning. The forecast is 225,000. The previous reading was 223,000. So we'll see what that comes in at. And it's been known to move markets before. So tomorrow, before the regular session bell rings for the open, we'll obviously have this reaction at 8:30 a.m. Eastern. And then next week, we got some PMI data, some Fed speakers sprinkled in here and there, more initial jobless claims on Thursday, and then Friday consumer sentiment. So that kind of rounds up what the schedule looks like for the remainder of this week and next week. Going back to the sticks here, CSX still trying to hold up here above 26.77. That's kind of where basically where the golden fib is. Might be able to draw that up to there. Like right around 26.80. Be nice for it to hold there, or perhaps hold above 26.75. That's the level I was looking at before. Because if that fails, then we do not have higher lows happening. And for the bulls, we'd like to see higher lows to finish off the remainder of extended hours. But keep your eye on it. It does seem to be holding up after having a negative reaction and retracing almost 75% of the selling. So we'll see if it ends up losing these levels and coming back down. But just keep your eye on it. I'm just looking at 1 minute candles right now because that's really all the data I have to go off of since the earnings were released. AA, kind of all over the place. It had a negative reaction before the data came out. Then buyers stepped up to the plate. There was a buy side imbalance on the order book, pushed it up to 26.35. And now it's kind of just pulled back and it's kind of just trading right above where it closed at. So not really too exciting. To be honest with you, not really too exciting for either one of these as far as momentum and volatility goes. So nothing too crazy going on. So it might be like watching grass grow for the remainder of after hours, but just keep your eye on it and just look for simple patterns like higher lows or lower highs, and maybe see if you can determine what kind of trend it's going to do, and then go from there. Back to AA just for a second. Their net income did increase 171% to 548 million. Adjusted net income increased by 106%. Okay, we got that. And let me just show this. This is a nice little graphic I can show here. Okay, so earnings per share expected was $1.90. Actual came in at $2.15. So nice beat on EPS. The revenue, 3.42 billion, came in at 3.4 billion. Barely just missed that. So not really getting too much movement on either one of these. So I think it's safe to say we probably got the initial reactions out of the way, right? But with that said, like I say, not too exciting. So I'll probably just move on to what I wanted to talk about to end the stream, which is our upcoming Traders Paradise 2025. It's going to be in Chicago from June 9th through the 12th. I've already got my ticket reserved, got my plane tickets, got my hotel room. It's going to be a great time. So the 9th, the 10th, 11th, and 12th, it's a 4-day event. I'll just kind of go over like what we're going to be doing there. Now, we already had our first Traders Paradise event last year in Delray Beach. And 10 members got a chance to go to Delray Beach for the conference, if you will. and we did 2 solid days of learning things and live trading, and I even introduced a new strategy. And we're going to do a lot of that on this one, plus a whole bunch more. So just to kind of go over the agenda, what it's going to look like is we're going to have basically you should be able to learn at this conference what you would probably learn in a year. So we're going to have some great special guests there, people who have been on some big news outlets, financial news outlets. But just a kind of a sneak peek and look under the hood of what's going to be at the Traders Paradise in Chicago. Again, that's in June. We're going to be doing live trading at the market open. So bring your laptop and get ready to trade live right along with us. We're going to do interactive workshops, which is designed to identify your biggest blockers and give you the breakthrough you need. You know, some people are just waiting on a light switch to click on or some sort of aha moment, right? And you'll definitely be getting those at the event. We're going to have a live masterclass on advanced options and swing trading. And I do have another trading strategy that I'm going to share with everyone at the event as well. We're going to have step-by-step instructions from the owner of the company, Big Quench. His name's Austin, and that's going to be on how to use his advanced range trading techniques. So don't want to miss that. We're also going to have a really in-depth AI and tech space deep dive. All right. And that's going to be a lot of insights on where institutions are placing, putting their money and placing their bets from throughout 2025. And that's going to be hosted by Shai Balor. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of Shai, very big presence on Twitter. And of course, he's part of the PB Alerts family over here. Also going to get some guidance on your development as an investor with Lou Bassanisi. Okay, he's been on a lot of major financial media outlets. We're very excited to have him as a guest speaker, and I'm looking forward to meeting him, number one, and just kind of picking his brain. He's got tons of experience, so Lou Bassanisi will be there, and we've got a lot of other exclusive bonuses. We're going to have a new indicator that we're releasing. Also, there's if you do buy a ticket, make sure to get your hotel room, but get a hold of us first because we can get you discounted hotel rooms, and that's while the rooms last. We're going to have some private dinners, so you're going to be sitting at tables with millionaires, and we're going to have private dinners, and we're going to talk about everything, get to know everyone, deep dive mentorship sessions. So we're pretty excited. Again, this is our second one we're doing. So we already did one in Delray Beach, Florida. That's about 3-4 hours from where I live. So last year was awesome. I just jumped in my truck and drove over there, right? But last year was in Delray Beach, had a lot of fun. This one is going to be 10 times better, I think. But there's three tickets to choose from. There's a bronze package, okay? There's a silver package, and then there's a gold package. All right. And I believe the gold package, which is our VIP package, I believe that's sold out. So there may be a few tickets left. I'm not 100% sure. But there's a link in the description to this YouTube stream I'm doing right now. You'll see it'll say Traders Paradise. Click on the link. It'll take you to this exact page I'm on right now. And you can see everything I'm talking about, the dates of the event. It's at the Hyatt at the Hyatt Regency in Chicago. So really nice hotel. It'll give you the days of the event, and then basically the breakdown of what I just went over, what's going to be going on at the event. And I believe there is a 40% off discount going on right now. I believe that's only for the bronze and silver packages. I don't think that applies to the gold package, so I just wanted to make that clear. But even the bronze and the silver packages, now that 40% off, it's for the PB community. So if you haven't already joined the Discord, check the links in the description. I put down there. Go ahead and join the Discord. And then if you want to come to the Chicago in-person event where you get to meet everyone, I mean, literally, there's going to be millionaires there. It's going to be a great room to be in. join the Discord. We can definitely get you 40% off the tickets, and I believe that's for the PB community exclusive discount there. I don't think that discount's been released to everyone. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. We had a blast at the last one. And if you have any additional questions, like I say, just join the Discord, tag one of the staff members, and we'll definitely take care of you and get your questions answered. No problem. But outside of the Traders Paradise event in Chicago, just in general, if you're looking for a new home to hang out with a great community, come check us out. Links in the description. You can join for free, see how you like the free section. Or if you just want to jump right into the trenches, check out the coaching program. I specifically do advanced options. So I do lots of spreads, credit spreads, debit spreads, condors. I run a lot of the wheel strategy, cash secured puts, covered calls. If any of that stuff I'm saying is something you've been interested in, then join the Discord and then just type me in the chat. I'll come say hi. I think the coaching, it's only like $30 or $40 a month, and I'll get that back for you on your first trade. All right. We also have a couple other coaches. We got a day trading coach that just trades the opening move with options. That's Coach Ethan. So go see him if you want to trade options in the morning. If you just want to swing trade stock and equity, you're going to want to go see Coach Mad Maverick, and he's your guy. All right. And we're all pretty experienced. We've been in the game quite a long time. So we got something for everyone. But yeah, that's about all the time I got for today. I appreciate everyone coming in to hang out. Again, the link for the Traders Paradise event in Chicago, it's right in the description. Right when you click on it, it's going to take you to this page I'm on right now. And it gives you all the information, and you can even buy the tickets right here through this. And there's also a frequently asked questions section. So you can read all that, probably answer all your questions there. And if you have any other questions after looking at this page, just reach out to one of us staff members, and we'll definitely answer your questions. But I'm looking forward to it. I hope everyone else is. We've already sold like 20 tickets already. I believe we're the limit might only be like 50 or 100 people, but we're a few months away still. But we've already had several people buy tickets, and I'm looking forward to meeting each and every one of them in Chicago in June. But I hope y'all definitely enjoyed the stream. If you are looking for a new home, a new trading community, join our Discord, tag me in the chat. I'll come say hello, and definitely look forward to meeting you. Other than that, I hope everyone enjoys the rest of their night, and I'll chat with everyone very, very soon. Cheers, y'all.